Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a story for you here today titled She Rejected Me in High School. Now she is furious that I turned her down at 35. Now, this is something that happens to a lot of women where they reject a bunch of men when they're younger, whether that be throughout their 20s or high school sweethearts or whatever the case may be. You'll have these women who reject a whole bunch of guys. But all of a sudden, when they start pushing 30 or when they go beyond the age of 30, things start to change a little bit, okay? They're in a whole lot of student debt. Oftentimes, they're still single because they've spent the last decade and a half chasing bad boys or whatever. And now they're looking for those good men to have a relationship with now. And a lot of the times, the good men don't actually want a relationship. They've said, you know what? You never wanted me in the first place, so why on earth would I be your retirement plan or your second choice? So let's see what happens in this story, guys. Don't forget to like the video on your way in. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new here. And let's take a look at this particular story. So he says, I'm a 36-year-old man, and the woman in this story is 35. We went to high school together, and at the time, she barely acknowledged that I existed. Funny how things come full circle. Man, if I had $1 for every single time a dude told me a story similar to this, I would have a lot of dollars. Let's put it that way. He says, back in high school, I was not unpopular, but I definitely was not part of the top tier social group. I was more of the quiet, keep to myself kind of guy. I had a tight group of friends. I focused on my schoolwork and I hit the gym regularly, but I was never the type that girls lined up for. Jessica, on the other hand, was the girl that everyone noticed. She was class president, homecoming court, always surrounded by people. Naturally, I had a crush on her. I kept it to myself until one day during senior year. I asked her if she wanted to grab coffee after school sometime. She looked at me like I had asked her something absurd. Then she gave me a patronizing, that's sweet, but no thank you. I still remember the way her friends snickered as I walked away. It stuck with me longer than I'd like to admit, but I moved on. And you know, this is an experience that a lot of guys have. In fact, I would say for a lot of guys, it's actually worse, where like the dude will profess that he's interested in a woman, and then the social backlash will be so like severe that the guy will never want to do it again, right? Because here's the thing. Women complain about men not approaching them, men not asking them out, men not putting in effort. But the thing is, so many guys get punished for putting in effort from a very young age. Like they learn very quickly, hey, if you ask the wrong woman out, your social life is going to be ruined. People are going to make fun of you. She's going to make fun of you. A lot of the times these women, they use these situations to laugh at the guy as some sort of a leg up for their own social status. You know, like, oh, can you believe that this guy thought he had a shot with me? Or, oh, this guy asked me out, kind of thing, so that they can make themselves look better. So what ends up happening is dudes just say, you know what? I'm just not going to do it anymore. Like, why even put in the effort? Again, this is something that men learn when they're younger and younger these days, man. He says, fast forward to the present. Life after high school treated me well. I got into computer engineering, very nice. I eventually started my own cybersecurity firm, and now I work remotely and I make great money. I've traveled, I've dated, and I've learned a lot about myself. So this guy did the smart move, man. You know, got into computer engineering, works remotely, great stuff. Works in cybersecurity as well. Probably quite a smart dude. He says, about 3 months ago, I got a message on Facebook from her. It threw me off. It just said, hey, long time, how have you been? I almost didn't respond, but curiosity got the better of me. I checked her profile, he says. She was still attractive, but there was definitely a different energy to her now. There were fewer party pictures, more motivational quotes, and reposted breakup memes. I replied and I kept it friendly. So this woman used to have a lot of posts, apparently with parties and everything, but now she's probably realized that makes her look like trash at 35 years of age. Like, if you see a 35-year-old woman and she has a bunch of posts that are her partying in previous years, it just looks incredibly stupid, and a lot of guys are not going to want to take that seriously. So what this woman is doing probably is she's trying to make her past look not as bad, so that some naive simp will take her in for a relationship and look after her financially and completely ignore her past because she's refusing to display it. So this is actually a manipulation strategy, guys. Is like women will get older, and as they get more desperate, they will completely try and revamp themselves to look as though they are a lot more pure than they actually are, and like they didn't do a bunch of this degenerate crap in previous years. Crazy how that works. Anyway, he says we ended up chatting a bit, and she asked if I wanted to grab a drink and catch up. I agreed. I don't know why you would. He said when we met, it was immediately clear that she was seeing me in a completely different light than she did back in high school. She complimented how I looked, asked about my work, and kept referencing how hard it was to find normal guys these days. The way she talked about her dating life made it sound like she'd had her share of wild years, and now she wanted something serious. She told me she'd recently gotten out of a long-term relationship and was focused on starting fresh. Yeah, so a few things to notice here. This woman's definition of starting fresh is essentially she needs to lock down some wealthy simp. Okay? But guys, please understand this. This woman is sitting here saying, I've had my fun. I've had a whole bunch of wild years, wild experiences, and now I want something serious. These women are not relationship material. They are not wife material. If you try and date these women, what's going to happen is you are probably going to get cheated on, right? And dudes will hear this and they'll be like, there'll be some simp out there and he'll be like, probably. So you mean there's a chance she won't simp on me? Like, wake up, my man. Okay. These women are not good to date. They will have all of the previous dudes that they have hooked up with still in their friends list. They will still be receiving messages from these guys. A lot of them will be completely unable to pair bond. Okay? Like, these wild years are very, very relevant. And this is why women hide them so much, man. It's because they know that dudes are not going to want to date them. Like, why would you date a woman who has been partying until 35 years of age? Like, what even is that, man? Especially if you're a dude that's like worked on yourself, you've worked on your career, hitting the gym, all of these sorts of things. And also, she's sitting here complaining about dating. Women who complain about dating are so lost, guys. Like, I've said it hundreds of times at this point. Dating is not difficult for women. If you're a woman and you struggle at dating, that is a huge concern. Okay? Very, very large concern. He says she started reminiscing about school and said, it's funny, you were always such a nice guy. I don't know how I didn't notice you back then. I smiled and said, I do. You weren't looking for someone like me back then. It's okay. She laughed it off but didn't say much after that. I could tell she didn't love the honesty. Yeah, because she was hoping you would be naive, right? And completely forget about it. Over the next week, she kept messaging me, more flirty this time, asking if I wanted to come over, asking about my weekend plans, even hinting at grabbing a bottle of wine and seeing where things go. My goodness, man. He says, I turned her down. Eventually, I told her the truth. I said, look, I enjoyed catching up, but I'm not looking for anything here. I'm not interested in revisiting the past just because we've both changed a bit. I hope there are no hard feelings. She didn't respond right away. The next day, she sent a long message. Oh, great. Oh, man. Don't even, just block her. You know what I mean? The next day, she sent a long message. It started out civil, then it spiraled into full-on anger. She accused me of playing games, said I was just bitter about high school, and even claimed I must have issues with women because I didn't want to give her a chance now. I didn't reply. There wasn't any point. Yeah, good move. So notice how she goes straight into the, oh, you don't like women, right? Because the woman gets rejected, she tries to turn it into this thing about how he doesn't like women. Oh, the reason why you're rejecting me is just because you're angry and because you don't like women and all of these sorts of things. But the fact of the matter is the dude just didn't want to be treated like a second option, like a backup plan, like a retirement plan. Okay, again, this woman never wanted him previously, but now that she's running out of options, this guy's more successful, the years probably haven't been kind to her, she can't get a relationship, now she sees him as a viable option. It's really insulting. Anyway, he says, she unfollowed me on everything and blocked me a day later. Mutual friends told me that she was ranting in her group chat about how men get money and suddenly think they're too good. Maybe, or maybe I just remember how it felt to be laughed at for offering someone kindness, and I don't forget who saw value in me only after their options ran dry. Yep, and I think this dude is entirely entitled to his position. Guys, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.